and just thank you all.
One never knows.
How Amazing Grace will come out. Just a poem by Rilke that to me speaks so perfectly to at least what I've received this week.
Can you hear me without the mic easily?
How surely gravity's law takes hold of even the smallest thing and pulls it toward itself, toward the center of the world, toward the heart of the world. Each thing, each stone, blossom, child is held in place. Only we in our arrogance push out beyond what we each belong to, toward some illusory freedom. If we surrendered to Earth's intelligence, we could rise up, rooted like trees. Instead, we entangle ourselves in knots of our own making and wander lonely and confused. So, like children, we begin again to learn from the things, because they are in God's heart. They have never left Him. This is what the things can teach us: to fall. To fall. Patiently, to trust in our own heaviness. Even a bird has to do that before she can fly.
Mike said I didn't take too long. Okay, there's just one little teeny little thing. It's from Megthilde de Magdeburg, and it goes, of all that God has shown me, I can speak just the smallest word. Not more than a honeybee takes on her foot from an overspilling jar.
Thank you. Corrine, everybody. Beautiful. Where's Doug? Where is Doug? Doug with poem. I said Doug. 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 I said Doug. I've got an English accent tonight. All right.
I wonder why.
Is that good? Little bit. Am I right?
Yeah,
Good?
that's
Okay.
Let me see. Hello. Thank you all for the friendship this week and for sharing the path. I don't write poems or anything, but I was on a silent retreat last October, and when it was time to speak, I kind of composed a poem, what I wanted to say to the other participants, but I never finished it in time. So I didn't read the poem, but I was inspired to finish it with a little help from Ginny last night. So guess what the title is? I Am. So it's a little shorter than the beautiful poem that Rupert read to us. I'll spare you. Okay. I am. I am the sand before a footprint lands. I am the breeze carrying the scent and the musical strands. I am the water on which the wave arises, takes shape, and flows, and the depth where the trace of a rising goes. I am the emptiness ready to be filled. I am the curiosity of a child that can't be chilled. I am the place where a snowflake falls. I am the willingness when awakening calls. I am the air that supports a butterfly's wings. I am the space that makes room for all things. I am the renewed silence when thinking suspends, and the stillness in the chapel when the meeting ends. I am the reward when striving subsides. I am the letting go where freedom abides.
Thank you, Doug. This next act. Oh, all right, I'm going to need it. Got that, Jim? You hear that? Got that? Okay. So I have a lot of new songs that I wrote, which I'm recording now, and I'm not yet ready to play them on a guitar. So I'm going to play a song that you have heard from me before. Some of you have, not all of you. You hear that? It's called Everyone Here Is Going to Die. Everyone here is going to die, so at least have the decency to wave as you walk by. We're dropping like flies. Every hello and goodbye means something. Everyone here is going to die. I'm as skeptical as the next person, but Jesus Christ, I'm looking in your eyes, and right now you are alive. flowers, and all of your friends will be coming to an end. So let's not pretend or act all cool about it. Everyone here is going to die, and that's reason enough to look 'em in the eye. With the minutes moving by, this is no time to be bashful or aloof. Thank you very much. Scott, with a stand-up piece.
I requested to go after a...
Oh, you want to go? All right, no, okay, you want to go?
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't want to follow you. So, my name is Scott, and I drove down here from Toronto. And the nice thing about driving in your car is you get to bring whatever you want. And however, I do have a bad habit of forgetting things to pack. So I made a list, and I successfully brought all the useless little things that you don't need on a trip, like a scented candle, and for some reason I bought a big tub of hand lotion. So I brought everything but my suitcase full of clothes. So I've been buying clothes along the way and taking the odd shower with my clothes. You know, it may seem impossible to walk out your door, you know, without your suitcase full of clothes. But honestly, anyone that knows me, they would not be surprised, because I'm continuously losing things and forgetting things. And in fact, it brought back a childhood memory of when I was in Cub Scouts. And I'd show up for the meetings, and all I had to do was wear my uniform and bring 10 cents for the dues. And the kids, I always forgot something, and so the kids, they started calling me forgetful. And I mean, that wasn't really the thing I hated about Cubs. It was the fact that the other Cubs, they seem to have merit badges on every inch of their uniform, right? You couldn't fit another merit badge on, and unfortunately I only had one merit badge. And if only it were for something cool, like, you know, saving someone's life or starting how to start a campfire, but my only merit badge was for vacuuming. And you know, as a 10-year-old, it's kind of hard to, you know, strut around in your uniform, you know, with the image of a Hoover on your arm. And, you know, when I look at the arc of my life now, not a lot has changed. I'm still forgetting things. The only difference is instead of vacuuming for my mom, I'm now vacuuming for my wife. My first spiritual teacher taught me the possibility that everything is consciousness. And he's not from around here, but you might have heard of him. He's from the Dagobah system in a galaxy far, far away, Master Yoda. And he said the following that I contemplated for a long time. Luminous beings are we, not this crude stuff matter. And I knew what he was saying was true, but I just couldn't make it my own until I found my current teacher, and he created these pathways so I could make it my own. So I think that we're all part of one indivisible whole, and as such, I believe that we all have a unique gift or talent to share. The problem is my own particular talent is not highly regarded in this current lifetime. So I am hoping that when this body-mind experience declenches and floats downstream, and in my next lifetime, maybe I'll be viewed as some kind of superhero or something. But my particular skill, and I've learned that it's very repeatable. Without measuring anything, I can look at any piece of furniture and I can tell you whether it'll fit through a doorway. And it's a real skill, it's proven. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not highly valued. And it actually doesn't get me anywhere, especially when my interior designer wife doubts my superpowers. Because it usually goes something like this. Scott, I want to move that couch into that room over there. Honey, I got some bad news. There's no way that couch is going to fit in that door over there. No, I measured it. If we take the cushions off, take the legs off, and we take the door off, it'll fit. It'll be tight, but it'll just fit. You know, of course it never fits, and, you know, what can I do at that point? You know, I've already wasted all this energy, scuffed up the furniture and the doorway, and I can't say anything. So I think I'm out of time. I could finish with a joke, but can I tell a quick joke? I got to leave on a high note. I got nothing on that one. Okay. So there's this spiritual guy living in the big city, and he wants to get out of the rat race and move out to the country where he heard everyone's really friendly, and, you know, he can kind of decompress and follow his path. So he gets a knock at the door, and he's like, whoa, I don't even know anybody. I just moved here. And this big guy Ted, he walks in the door. I should change the name. Ted actually could. Bill. No, I know Bill too. Anyways, this big guy walks in the door, and he says, you know, just want to welcome you to the neighborhood. And he's like, oh, that's great. This is why I moved out here. And he says, yeah, in fact, I'm throwing a party for you tomorrow night. And he goes, oh, that's really nice. He goes, what kind of party is it? Well, first there's going to be lots of drinking. Then there's going to be some dancing. Then there's going to be some fighting. And then there's going to be some fucking. And he goes, whoa, that's some kind of party. What would someone wear to a party like that? It don't matter, it's just going to be the two of us. Oh, you've been a great audience. Thanks very much.
Scott, the stand-up comic. All right. Oh. All right. So, Monique, are you in the house? Where are you at? So we had, Monique. So I have to tell you something, Monique. Usually I introduce Monique as the Frenchest woman I've ever met. But there's another French singer with us tonight, so we're going to have a French off at the end of the night to see who's more French.
Maybe you better get a few words. Who knows?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is Monique, everybody.
So, thank you. Love you all. So, this is a song, a very old French-Canadian song that was written after the Great Rebellion in French Canada. Of course, you know nothing about the Great Rebellions in French Canada, so I will just say a few words about it. So, it was in 1837. And in French Canada, so there was rebels. It was governed at the time by the British military government, not really nice to people. And so there was this rebellion, and it was really fiercely defeated. So the rebels my people, actually, who called themselves the Patriots, were mostly sentenced to death or banished from their place. And we still keep them in memory. There's a Patriot Day in Quebec in the middle of May. So this song was written after that dramatic event. It's a sad song, I have to tell you. And it goes like that. It's a wandering Canadian banished from his lands was traveling through foreign countries, crying. One day, sitting by a river, he said to the current waters, "If you ever go to my country, my unfortunate country, go tell my friends that I remember them." Un Canadien errant, banni de ses foyers. Un Canadien errant, banni de ses foyers, parcourait en pleurant des pays étrangers, parcourait en pleurant des pays étrangers. Un jour triste et pensif, assis au bord de l'eau. Un jour triste et pensif, assis au bord de l'eau. Au courant fugitif, il adressa ces mots. Au courant fugitif, il adressa ces mots. Si tu vois mon pays malheureux, si tu vois mon pays malheureux, va dire à mes amis que je me souviens d'eux. Va dire à mes amis que je me souviens d'eux. Thank you. I love you all, especially, I love you all, especially the British ones among you.
She loves us. The British ones, our magazine. Monique, beautiful. Thank you. That rated pretty high on the French meter, I think. What is it? It's quite French. So, let's see. Jenny. Jenny, are you here to read us a poem? Jenny. All right. Jenny is approaching the stage at this very moment that I am pushing the mic into the microphone clamp and reaching into my pocket to see if I have a pack of gum. I don't have any stick. Jenny with a poem.
Easy to read. So firstly, I just want to thank everybody for the week. It has been remarkable, as it always is. And thank you, Rupert, for being the space in which this arises. So in recent times, I've been having quite long chats with my dad about aging. He's reviewing his life. He's reminiscing. He's looking at all the photos. It's very touching. And it has had me examine my own experience of aging. Some of it is like really remarkable and beautiful. Some of it, not so much. But anyway, so in that light, I received a poem from a friend of mine. She sent it to me this week, and it has to do with just that. So I thought I would share it because it's very touching. called Silver by Jeanette Encinius. I'm sorry, I probably don't pronounce that name correctly. Silver. How many years of beauty do I have left? She asks me. How many more do you want? Here's 34. Here's 50. When you are 80 years old and your beauty rises in ways your cells cannot even imagine now, and your wild bones grow luminous and ripe, having carried the weight of a passionate life. When your hair is aflame with winter, and you have decades of learning and leaving and loving sewn into the corners of your eyes, and your children come home to find their own history in your face. When you know what it feels like to fail ferociously and have gained the capacity to rise and rise and rise again. When you can make your tea on a quiet and ridiculously lonely afternoon and still have a song in your heart. Queen owl, wings beating beneath the cotton of your sweater. Because your beauty began there, beneath the sweater and the skin, remember? This is when I take you into my arms and coo, you brave and glorious thing, you've come so far. I see you, your beauty is breathtaking.
Beautiful, Jenny. That's a beautiful poem. Sita, are you with us? Sita. She's coming, and Sita has a song to sing. Are you ready? Are you ready for Sita? All right.
So I have never sung in front of people. This is the first time. Thanks to Bonnie, she encouraged me to sing. It's a small song, and I'll explain the meaning very briefly. It's a song sung on the streets, and it goes something like this. What can I offer you, God? What can I offer you? I wanted to bring you flowers from the acacia tree, but the dragonflies, they own the flowers. I wanted to bring you the water from the river Ganges, but that water belongs to the little fishes and frogs. And I wanted to bring you the milk from the milk cow, but that belongs to the little calf. So, here it goes. Emi setura linga, emi setu, emi setura linga, emi setu. Ganga udakamu techi నీకు లింగ పూజను చేతమంటే గంగ ఉదకము తెచ్చి నీకు లింగ పూజను చేతమంటే గంగనున్న చేప కప్ప లెంగిలంటున్నాయి లింగా గంగనున్న చేప కప్ప లెంగిలంటున్నాయి లింగా మహానుభావా మాలింగమూర్తి మహదేవ శంభో ఏమీ సేతురాలింగా ఏమీ సేతు తుమ్మి పూలు తెచ్చి నీకు తృప్తిగా పూచేతమంటే తుమ్మి పూలు తెచ్చి నీకు తృప్తిగా పూచేతమంటే కొమ్మ కొమ్మన కోటి తుమ్మెద లెంగిలంటున్నాయి లింగా కొమ్మ కొమ్మన కోటి తుమ్మెద లెంగిలంటున్నాయి లింగా మహానుభావా మాలింగమూర్తి మహదేవ శంభో ఏమీ సేతురాలింగ ఏమీ సేతు అక్షయావుల పాలు తెచ్చి అరిపితను చేతమంటే అక్షయావుల పాలు తెచ్చి అరిపితను చేతమంటే అక్షయావుల లేగదూడా ఎంగిలంటున్నాయి లింగ అక్షయావుల లేగదూడా ఎంగిలంటున్నాయి లింగ మహానుభావ మాలింగమూర్తి మహదేవ శంభో ఏమీ సేతురాలింగ ఏమీ సేతు.
Sita, beautiful. Woo! Stuart. All right, Stuart is. Let's hear it for Stuart. With a poem. Check. Is that good height? Yes, thank you. I'm going to read you my favorite poem. It's called We Have Come to Be Danced by Jill Matheson. We have come to be danced. Not the pretty dance, not the pretty, pick me dance, but to claw our way back into the belly of the sacred, sensual animal dance. The unhinged, unplugged, cat is out of its box dance. The holding the precious moment in the palms of our hands dance. We have come to be danced. Not the jiffy booby, shake your booty for him dance, but the wring the sadness from our skin dance. The blow the chip off our shoulder dance, the slap the apology from our posture dance. We have come to be danced. Not the monkey see, monkey do dance. 1, 2, dance like you. 2, 3, dance like me dance. But the grave robber, tomb stalker, tearing scabs and scars open dance. The rub the rhythm raw against our souls dance. We have come to be danced. Not the nice, invisible, self-conscious shuffle, but the matted hair flying, voodoo mama, shaman shaking, ancient bones dance. They strip us from our casings, return our wings, sharpen our claws and tongues dance. They shed dead cells and slip into the luminous skin of love dance. We have come to be danced, not to hold our breath and wallow in the shallow end of the floor dance, but the meeting of the Trinity, the body, breath, and beat dance. The shout hallelujah from the top of our thighs dance. The mother may I, yes, you may take 10 giant leaps dance. The ollie ollie oxen free dance. The everyone can come to our heaven dance. We have come to be danced, where the kingdoms collide in the cathedral of flesh, to burn back into the light, to unravel, to play, to fly, to pray, to root in Skin Sanctuary. We have come to be danced. We have come. Stuart, beautiful. Indeed we have. So we got 3 songs in a row from 3 different parts of the world. Watch this happen. Bonnie, where are you? Bonnie, come. Bonnie is going to sing a song for us, and she will be accompanied by, actually Bonnie is going to be accompanied by a guitar that she's going to play. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Let's hear it for Bonnie, everybody. You want to hold it? You want to sit?
No, stand.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to strum. Okay. Okay. Hello. So this is a song written in the 16th century by this person named Bhakta Ramadas, and he wrote it. I mean, this song means, what it means is, "O Lord Rama, please come to my rescue, help me cross this ocean of life and ignorance. How will you reveal yourself to me?" So I'm just going to put this paper here in case I forget the lyrics, because when I stand here, my separate self, starts to vanish, disappear. So I might forget the words. So, okay. Okay. ఏ తీరుగా నన్ను దయచూచెదవో ఇనవంశోత్తమ రామా, ఏ తీరుగా నన్ను దయచూచెదవో ఇనవంశోత్తమ రామా, నా తరమా భవ సాగర మీదను నళినదలే క్షణ రామా, నా తరమా భవ సాగర మీదను నళినదలే క్షణ రామా, శ్రీ రఘునందన సీతారమణ శ్రితజన పోషక రామా, శ్రీ రఘునందన సీతారమణ శ్రితజన పోషక రామా, కారుణ్యాలయ భక్తవరద నిను కన్నది కానుపురామా, కారుణ్యాలయ భక్తవరద నిను కన్నది కానుపురామా, క్రూర కర్మములు నేరక చేసితి నేరములెంచకు రామా, క్రూర కర్మములు నేరక చేసితి నేరములెంచకు రామా, దారిద్ర్యము పరిహారము సేయవే దైవ శిఖామణి రామా, దారిద్ర్యము పరిహారము సేయవే दैवशिखामणि रामा वासवनुत रामदास पोषक वन्दनमयोध्य रामा वासवनुत रामदास पोषक वन्दनमयोध्य रामा भासुरवर न सद्गुणमुलु कलिगिन भद्राद्रीश्वरि रामा भासुरवर सद्गुणमुलु कलिगिन भद्राद्रीश्वरि रामा ये तिरुगननु दयचूचेदवो इनवंशोत्तम रामा नातरमा भव सागरमीदनु नलिनदलेक्षण रामा नातरमा भव सागरमीदनु नलिनदलेक्षण रामा. Thank you.
Lovely. Bonnie. Now we're going to cross from the Asian continent back to Europe for our second French singer, Anne, with a French song. Let's hear it for Anne. You need to...
Bonsoir. So actually French because the song is from Georges Moustaki, who was a French singer from Greek origins. So the name of the song is Il y avait un jardin. Once there was a garden, and it talks about the Garden of Eden. It was written for children who were living in cities and never saw the countryside or a garden. I'm skipping the last verse because Mark asked me to do it in less than 3 minutes. But also because the last verse says, where is it, this house, with all its doors open, that I'm looking for and cannot find anymore? And I skip it also because I can say that because of all of you and Rupert, having all of us here, I did find this house with all the doors open. And the last time I sang with that many people by myself, I was 5 years old in my hometown. Il y avait un jardin qu'on appelait la terre. Il brillait au soleil comme un fruit défendu. Non, ce n'était pas le paradis ni l'enfer, ni rien de déjà vu ou déjà entendu. Il y avait un jardin, une maison, des arbres, avec un lit de mousse pour y faire l'amour, et un petit ruisseau coulant sans une vague venait le rafraîchir et poursuivait son cours. Il y avait un jardin grand comme une vallée. On pouvait s'y nourrir à toutes les saisons. Sur le sable brûlant ou sur l'herbe gelée, et découvrir des fleurs qui n'avaient pas de nom. Il y avait un jardin qu'on appelait la terre. Il était assez grand pour des millions d'enfants. Il était habité jadis par nos grands-mères qui le tenaient elles-mêmes de leur grand-maman. Il y avait un jardin qu'on appelait la terre. Il brillait au soleil comme un fruit défendu. Non, ce n'était pas le paradis, ni l'enfer, ni rien de déjà vu ou déjà entendu, ni déjà entendu. Merci.
That was really good. You're making me feel, how do you say, guilty when you tell me I cut out your last verse. And when I feel guilty, I use an accent that is Transylvanian, apparently. So we have, moving over to the North American continent is Robert with another song. Robert, where are you?
Woo! Thank you, Mark. And that was really lovely. Thank you. Oops, I got something talking to me from my pocket. Okay. You want that higher? No, maybe a touch, but it's okay. That's probably fine. Yeah, no, that's good. Thank you. Hello, I love you. I listened to this, heard this song on the way down, and it's been stuck in my head all week, and I wanted to share it. Let's see. Put your clothes out to dry, it's early morning. The day is unfolding ever so softly. I will always be all alive within. It's a never-ending song, and I sing alone. I am awake, the only one awake. I see the sun break out, no clouds, no crowds, no one, only you. We are stars in the still water. We are stars in still water. Now the sun's in your eyes, it dries away all tears. The light's the only thing underneath our fears. We are always all alive within. It's a never-ending song, and we sing alone. We are awake, the only one awake. I see the sun glowing. It's late in shapes. We did all that we could. It was good. You're a star in still water. We are stars in still water. We're the stars and the still water.
Beautiful, Robert. Olas, are you with us, Olas? Olas, where are you now? He's coming around the bend. Let's hear it for Olas, who has for us a poem, correct? Poem.
Hi. The lights are so bright I can't see you. That's probably a good thing. Okay, I have here a little obscure book. It was published in 1923, 96 years ago. And it's a book of verses called The Demon's Notebook by Swinburne Hale. Nobody's ever heard of him. I only know about it because he was my grandfather. But I never met him, so this is an ode to an ancestor unknown. The Book of Pishna. This is the Book of Pishna, wherein it is written that a flash of intelligence is worth many rumbles of wisdom. In the beginning was Glumph, and there was no god but Glumph, he of the single eye and the single idea. He sat on high, and his sitting was wonderful, so that when he sat, nothing happened. He said that the world is a very small place after all, and when he had said these words, he bowed beneficently, and there was much worshiping about him. Glumph also said that it takes all kinds to make a world, and when he had said that, there was a great noise of congratulation. And Glumph said at last, that a man getteth what he deserveth in this world. Whereupon the multitude cried out exceedingly, saying, Mighty is Glumph, his wisdom shall be our wisdom, and his word our law. Now, Pishna was the son of a clockmaker who had never made a clock, but who had made Pishna. And when Pishna was come to 18 years of age, he had a vision in which the god Glumph appeared to him and said, Be true to thyself. Well, and Pishna went and sat by the stove for 12 years and meditated upon the syllable poo. Let each meditate upon poo for as long as may be, Then shall he know that there is no meditation comparable thereto. For poo is the ending of all faith and the beginning of all intelligence. Poo, by making a space for thought, assures man of the coming in of thought. Even as water will come into a hole that is dug in the ground, and men call it a well and drink from it, but after a season the well must be emptied and cleansed, or the water will become unfit for drinking. And so, from time to time, man must meditate upon the syllable poo, or his thought will become muddied by faith. Now, when Pishna had meditated for 12 years upon poo, he noticed that the fire in the stove was extinguished. But this, he said, is not important, for had it been important, I should have noticed it long since, even while I was meditating. And he arose and left the stove without fire. And he said, man may exist without fire, but not without poo. For poo is important. But fire, he said, is also pleasant. It would have been well if someone had tended the stove while I meditated. Therefore, Pishna divided men into those who should make a space for thought by meditating upon poo, and those who should tend the stove. And this was the beginning of the Pishnatic philosophy, the first tenet of which is, I believe nothing. Therefore I may think all things. And freedom, said Pishna, is the peace that cometh after poo. Thereupon did Pishna develop his philosophy and go forth into the marketplace to proclaim to all the world that no one need believe in it who did not wish to. And all of those he saw, and of all those he saw, many were women who said that they were too busy with the stove to think about it. And many were men who said nothing at all, so that at last Pishna became discouraged, since he could not even find a person who would deny the truth of his discoveries. But at last, by the village well, he saw a girl who was no longer entirely young, but had reached years of indiscretion, and whose eyes were not like stars, but had some expression in them, and whose body was not like a willow wand, but articulated in a very human manner and with comfortable curves. Now, when Pishna saw this excellent being, she had rested her crock upon the ground and herself upon the crock, for she preferred to do this rather than draw water and carry it home to her mother who was waiting. Well, thereupon Pishna said to himself, here is one with whom it does not matter whether she meditates or tends the stove, for her beauty is meditation and warmth in one. So he approached her, saying, I love you. And she answered, well, this is not in the least sudden. I have been waiting for several minutes for you to say that. I fancy that love is the only thing more important than poo. Well, at these words, Pishna was not overjoyed, but joyed to exactly the right extent, so that life seemed to him extremely attractive at the moment. Did you hear me speaking of poo? He asked. Oh, least repellent of mortals? And what is your name, O succulent one? Tushna, my name is, she answered, and I did not hear you speaking of poo, but I have been meditating upon the syllable ever since the night before last, when the god Glumph appeared to me in a vision and said, beauty is only skin deep. Though I haven't taken the trouble, she added, to do anything about unsettling Glumph on the subject or talking it around the town. Oh, Tushna, said Pishna, oh, incomparable pooist. I find you are even more what I have been looking for than propaganda about poo. Though doubtless poo will remain interesting after you and I have got used to each other, and I am sure that our each discovering the sacred syllable does not show we are already wedded in the spirit, but is merely a hopeful coincidence. Let us not cleave together, O my beloved, nor merge our personalities in one, but let us discourse upon endless, interesting matters between intervals of lovemaking. And Pishna's eyes became fervent, so that Tushna thought it appropriate to yield to her own desire for such a program. Coming close to him, she touched his hand accidentally and murmured, "You do love me, don't you?" "Well," exclaimed Pishna, "I shouldn't put it as strongly as that, but being with you is almost as good as being alone." Do you possibly think we could try being alone together?" "I do," answered Tushna emphatically, "and I am glad you would not put it as strongly as that, for if you do not love me, then that shows that I need only care for you as much as I want to. But now let us stop talking about serious things that don't matter and go out into the woods, and not bother whether we are Puists or Glumphites." Whereupon Pishna cried, "What a heavenly notion! Here do I abjure poo for the rest of the day." "Abjure nothing," said Tushna. "Who knows but that poo may be useful before the afternoon is out?" Then Pishna and Tushna, walking as close together as possible, turned them towards the woods. But as they were about to enter, the soldiers arrested Pishna as a blasphemer and took him before the high priests and the judges, who sentenced him for uttering heresies in the marketplace and breaking the peace of Glump by saying that Pooh was a greater god than Glumph, and that if people believed in the god Pooh, they would have more food to cook upon their stove. Whereupon, the next day, Pishna was hanged by his feet until he died, so that his brain at least might be Glumph side up, although his tongue continued to murmur Pooh. And the next year, Tushna became the mistress of the high priest, who believed in celibacy. And the year after, there were many speakers in the marketplace advocating Pooh, which might never have been heard of again but for the sentence executed on Pishna, which made Glum's people wonder what Pishna had really said and whether there was something in it after all.
Thank you, Olas. What year was that published, that book? 23. Wow. All right, so Walter. Where's Walter? Walter is coming up to sing a song for us in about 43 seconds. Here he comes. And you need a microphone and a guitar, right? A chair as well?
And I'm so new to the guitar that I can't remember the chords, so I have to look at them or the words.
All right.
I just kind of wrote this song. So.
All right.
Grab that guitar right there. Oh, thanks, Mary. Can leave it like that. Okay, so while I'm getting set up here, I'll just tell you about my favorite poem. It's very short, and it's a poem that Teddy Roosevelt quoted many years ago, and it was what I thought maybe policing embodied for me. And it's, "Our hero is a man of peace, preparedness he implores, his sword within its scabbards sleeps, but mercy how it snores." And for years, I even thought about getting that tattooed on me at one time, but for years I thought that was, wonderful. And now that I've come to this understanding, and as it deepens, I'm thinking, I want to do away with this sword, but I don't think that'll work because I need that. But I've seen the sword of truth this week, and it looks like this. Sometimes it cuts, I saw that. But. So anyway, this is a song I wrote for my first teacher that I had, and I met this teacher almost 51 years ago now, my mom. And my second teacher was suffering, and now I've come to my third teacher, Rupert, for which I'm grateful for all three, very, very, very grateful. And certainly the suffering was something that propelled me to be here, so I'm so grateful for that. So this is a song called The Luminary, and I dedicate it to my mom. Worn and tired, life strips you bare, down to your very last drop of strength. Worn and tired, nothing prepares you for the dark night of the soul. And she shines brighter than most, and brings a light to all the corners of your soul. She is a gracious host. Rest in the comfort of her glow. Beaten down, you rise up one last time to face the demons that plague your dreams. Beaten down, but hope remains. You feel her light calling you, and she shines brighter than most, and brings a light to all the corners of your soul. She is a gracious host. Rest in the comfort of her glow. It's times like these when we all need a guiding light from the distant shore. So chart your course, return to source, trust in her light to guide you home. 'Cause she shines brighter than most, and brings her light to all the corners of your soul. She is a gracious host. Rest in the comfort of her glow. And before I leave the stage, I'd just like to make an impersonal request of the universe that my mom be able to be here with us in October. If I'm able to come back, I'd love to bring her, because you gotta meet her. You gotta meet her. You can tell by this song she's wonderful, so thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Mary, you ready? Okay. You want to have the table just as a kind of an accessory? Let's hear it from Mary, everybody.
Okay, so this is my a short song called "This Minute," and then I'm going to read you a really short poem, or not poem, something else. This minute, wildflower, for the grass is mown. This minute, butterfly, I see how beautiful you've grown. In this minute, in this minute, in this minute, we are free. In this minute, in this minute, in this minute, you and me. This minute, gentleman, before I take you for my own. This minute, lover, here before I leave you all alone. In this minute, in this minute, in this minute, we are free. In this minute, in this minute, in this minute, you and me. Nothing could ever measure its reality. Nothing could ever test of its validity. Nothing could ever take away the truth from me. No bomb could ever soothe the heat of love and life in me. In this minute, in this minute, in this minute, we are one. In this minute, in this minute, in this minute, we come home. Okay. So I woke up, I've got a lot of excitement, so. I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning with an image of Rupert with a new haircut. So I wanted to explain to you about this. In order to fully bring Rupert's teaching into every level of our experience, I think it would be important for us all to adopt a way of dress that represented this teaching, one that was the highest referent in form. First, one should wear no undergarments in order to represent naked awareness at all times. Then, one should wear a jumpsuit onesie, for it is not to. In the realm of personal grooming, one should cut their hair short in the front, leaving it long in the back, wearing this universally flattering hairstyle known as the mullet to honor and represent the teachings of Rupert Spira. The mullet is like the skillful weaving of the Vedantic and Tantric paths. Business in the front and party in the back. And finally, with all these pointers to the truth, one should wear orange-colored glasses to illustrate the veiling power of the mind. In the world, this way of dressing would act as a portal to bring the open-minded layman to the joy of his being.
All right, Mary. Rupert, what do you think? If you get one, I'll get one. A mullet, I mean. All right, so Joe, everybody, right here, with a song. You want to stand? You want to stand?
Hi, everybody. I'm going to play a song by Woody Guthrie. He wrote it for his little daughters. Put out your little hand to every woman, kid, and man. You shake it up and down, how'd you do? And we walk down the street to everyone you meet. You shake it up and down, how'd you do? I feel glad when you feel good. You light up the neighborhood, shaking hands with everybody that you meet. Now haji, haji, haji hoji, haji hooji, haji ho. Haji, haji, haji hoji, haji do. Now I am I, and you're I too. I is the world in front of you, and it shakes up and down. How'd you do? Remember Mary and John Smith? We know who we're dealing with. It's knowing, knowing, knowing. How'd you do? So haji, haji, haji hoji, haji hooji, haji hoo, haji heeji, haji haji, haji do. So thank you, Rupert, and thank you all. This week has been a ball. It's a truly roomy, homey, how'd you do? So let's be glad, let's be good. Let's shake up the neighborhood. Let's bring on the holy how'd you do? Haji, haji, haji hoji, haji heeji, haji hoo, haji heeji, haji hoji, haji do? How'd you do? How'd you do? How'd you do?
That's a beautiful song, Joe. Jesus Christ. All right, we're about to turn into the home stretch now. But before we do we have a joke? Somebody have a joke for us? Marie, where are you? Where are you? Hey, let's hear it for Marie. With a joke. At the table.
Bonjour. It just occurred to me if I speak French, it doesn't matter what I say. This is my first retreat and my first ever talent show, probably the last one. This is a true story of my life. I was walking the other day, 2 days ago, talking to my sister about the retreat, and I say, well, Saturday we have a talent show. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have any talents. And she says, but listen, you are such a great homemaker. You can share some of that. And I said, well, yeah, that's great. I'll do it. But by the time I got here, that's not a good idea at all. I'm not going to do it. So I usually sit there, but 2 days ago I decided to sit right on the very end for some reason, on the corner, and I'm sitting there, and next to me comes the guy. He says, who sits here? I says, well, I guess you. So, okay. And then pretty soon another guy comes and talks to this guy about this talent show. And I go, oh my God. So he arranges the talent show. So maybe I should. So I says, could I tell the story of my life in a minute? And he says, sure. I says, okay, great. He says, see me after lunch. I said, okay. Well, the lunch comes, and I decided, no, I'm not doing it. No way. No, that's crazy. So I'm not doing it. So today, after the morning session, I'm walking, and this man comes to me, he says, Maria. I say, yeah, you're doing it, right? I go, yeah, I'm doing it. So it's a story of my life. I should know it, right? I better write it down, because I will forget it. I'll forget it. So when I was a young girl, I always wanted to know what it is like to be a millionaire. But today, as I've grown up, I live in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, in the woods, with no internet, no TV, no even cell phone. I'm just a simple homemaker. I go to the woods, I forage for food, I hunt mushrooms, I gather herbs, and lately I have started investing in stocks. I do vegetable stock, I do chicken stock, and soon I just may be a billionaire. Mercy, mercy, mercy.
Merci, Marie. All right, I'm glad you did it. Paula, are you here? Paula? Paula. So Paula's going to do a song, right? Yes. Sorry? Oh, and yes, and Nick is going to accompany her on the song. Let's hear it for Paula.
I'm just going to sit there. You want to sit here? Yeah, it's just the way we practice. Yeah. Actually, do you want to? Yeah, that's fine. Is that good for you? It's completely good for me. Okay. Can you hear me? All right, so first of all, thank you. From heart to heart, really. This is lovely, this is family, this is home. Thank you, Rupert. So the title of the song is, it's very Advaita. I have to find a tantric song, maybe next time. So I won't say like Rupert, you have to close your eyes, but it's optional. I'll try to maintain mine closed. And Nick here is going to help me with the guitar because I'm clueless about instruments. I just love singing. So, who you truly are, who you really are, by Kirtana. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you've heard it, sing along. Could there be more to this life we call mine than a journey through space or a storyline. More to life than the body can sense, than the mind can conclude from experience. This who we are, begin with breath, depend on form, or end with death. Strip away these ruthless names and tell me what remains, and who you really are, who you really are. We measure success by the things we accrue or the bonds that we form or the deeds we do. This too shall pass, and as hard as we try to hold on to form, form will die. But inherent in this dance of form is the chance to see what's yet unborn. To throw and to the, but inherent in this dance of form is a chance to see what's yet unborn. The chance to throw this chance away and be caught up in the play of who we think we are, who we think we are. In a fortunate life comes a call to be free from this cycle of bondage, misidentity, to wake from the dream and finally realize the truth of one's being before the body dies. So before the final scene is past, see the screen on which is cast. See what's seeing this me and you, and then you will see who you really are, who you really are, who you really are. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Paula. And Nick, how y'all doing out there tonight? I didn't hear you. Are you ready to hit the final lap with verve and panache? No? All right, here we go. So next on the list we have Christopher, who is going to do what Christopher does. Let's hear it for Chris. Come on, Chris. You need a chair or you want to stand? I want to stand, and I'd like to hold the mic. You like to hold the mic? You want to move off the stage? Okay.
No, the mic's down.
You want it off the stage? Okay, you got it.
Okay. The name for this thing is called Gratitude. Is Rupert in the house? Okay. Dear Rupert, thank you for speaking for me. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for perceiving me. Thank you for knowing me. Thank you for silencing me. Thank you for speaking to me in my behalf. Thank you for hearing me on my behalf. Thank you for perceiving me on my behalf. Thank you for animating me. Thank you for composing me. Thank you for orchestrating me. Thank you for informulating me. Thank you for friending me. Signed, in loving gratitude, Christopher Fromkin.
Thank you, Christopher. That was lovely. Let's hear it for Christopher. Yeah. Caverly and Robert, where are you? Caverly. We're calling in the cavalry. Caverly. Calling in the cavalry. And Robert. Do you need a guitar? We're over here. Stand or no stand?
That's it. If all the world had beauty now and forevermore, beauty at the surface and beauty at the core, then all the joy within our hearts would be so free to soar. 'Cause we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. I don't know where I'm going, but I know I'm going far. And we can change this universe by being who we are. 'Cause we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. 'Cause all the world has loving now and forevermore. Loving at the surface and loving at the core. So all the joy within our hearts is forever free to soar. 'Cause we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. I don't know where I'm going, but I know we're going far. And we can be this universe by being who we are. 'Cause we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. If all the world had silence now and forevermore,
silence at the surface, and silence at the core, then all the joy within our hearts would be so free to soar, 'cause we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. I don't know where we're going, but I know we're going far. And we can be this universe by being who we are, 'cause we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. If all the world had knowing now and forevermore, knowing at the surface and knowing at the core, then all the joy within our hearts would be so free to soar, 'cause we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. I don't know where we're going, but I know we're going far, and we can be this universe by being who we are, 'cause we're living on a living planet, circling a living star. Yes, we're living on a living planet, circling a living star.
That was lovely. Justin! That was great, guys. All right, we have another song. We got a lot of singers and musicians in this crew. All right. Justin? Yes. You ready?
Yes, Nick.
And Nick is going to accompany him.
You want the chair?
Do you want to stand and I can just?
Yeah, you know what, I can show you this.
I can actually just prop it right on my knee. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see how this. Okay. Hey everyone. So this is a song that I love that is in homage to all of the intoxicating lilac out there that may also be guilty for my intense allergies. This is by Nina Simone. It's called Lilac Wine. I lost myself on a cool, damp night, gave myself in that misty light, was hypnotized by a strange delight under a lilac tree. I made wine from the lilac tree, put my heart in its recipe. It made me see what I want to see and be who I want to be. When I think more than I ought to think, I do things I never should do. I drink much more than I ought to drink, because it brings me back you. Lilac wine is sweet and heady, like my love. Lilac wine, I feel unsteady, like my love. Listen to me, I cannot see clearly. Isn't that she coming to me nearly here? Lilac wine is sweet and heady. Where's my love? I feel unready for my love.
Gorgeous. Wow. Barnaby, are you here? Barnaby. Let's hear it for Barnaby. Who's got a little something to tell us, a little story.
Ah, that's good, yeah. Hello, non-people. You look very nice tonight. Okay, give me some snaps, everybody. Yeah. So that's something we do in the high school mindfulness class I teach. It's a little story from my teaching years. So in my hand is a Burgerville $5 gift card. Burgerville's across the street from my high school. So this is a story about a student who I'll call Lisa. Part one, it's my first year of teaching, and a couple weeks into the class, counselors put Lisa in the class. She had been standing on top of the building, on top of a building, threatening suicide. She was on the phone with her counselor, her therapist, talked her down, and so they put her in the mindfulness class. Lisa's like a loud person, kind of wisecracking, and she sat next to me on the yoga mat next to me. A few weeks in, I was checking out her class journal. She had written, "I want to die." And, I shared with the counselor to get her just to, support. A few weeks later, I checked her journal. She said, "I meditated today. I felt good. I felt calm." On a page nearby that, she said, "This week, I only thought of killing myself 5 times. Normally, it's like 25 times in a week." End of the semester, she came on the teen mindfulness little retreat we did for 4 hours as part of their final project. And she had changed her shift at Dairy Queen so she could come on retreat. And she did 4 hours, and her favorite part was sitting under this beautiful tree at the edge of this overlook. And she had written that she felt so peaceful just listening to the birds and the sounds around her. Part 2 of the story, she had left high school. She decided not to finish her degree, and she went into Job Corps, moved to another state, was studying welding. We kept in touch, had a couple phone calls. When she was back in town, she came to our free teen mindfulness night. One night, I got a call from a couple of my coworkers. She had been triggered by something that was shared that night, and was just having a real tough time. Because she knew me, I came by, and it was hard, but kind of talked her down. We got joking again, but I had to tell her that I can't be a support for you in mental health or suicide crises like this. So we'll just have to keep our communication to about teen night if you're going to come or not. Part 3 of the story, this was a couple weeks ago. Secretary at my high school said, "Hey, I was getting some food from Burgerville, and there's a student who said she took your class a few years ago." So after school, I went over, and it was Lisa was working there, and we had a hug, and she asked if she could buy me a soda, and she did. She was serving the customers, but it was pretty quiet. So in between, we chatted, and she's got 3 jobs, so she can get an apartment by herself, which she has. She's got a car, and she showed me her new tattoos. One on her 19th birthday for my daughter, which her mum gave her. Her mum also gave her 20th birthday tattoo, which said 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. And I noticed her arm didn't have like those self-harming cuts on it anymore. And so we're going to get lunch in a couple weeks, and I just feel like really grateful for the ways all the young people I've taught have like opened my heart. So thank you.
Thank you, Barnaby. All right, we're to our last act of the night, and he's the hardest working man in non-dual show business. And his name is Nick. Let's hear it for Nick.
Okay, I think I might put the mic, do it like so it gets voice and guitar, if that's good. What do you think? Yeah, like maybe like a little back, I think. Does this sound pretty good? Can you hear both? Cool. I think this will be pretty good. This worked pretty well last time. Okay. Great. Well, thank you all for this week. It's been really special for me, and to share it with all of you. Thank you. So this is a new song I've written called Serenity. Fly when you are dreaming, and roam through the forest hills, and ask for what you're feeling, and touch what it's like to long. Soft, you are your answer, but look, for it takes time to know, and lay down where you're standing, and ground loves you from below. Facing the light, I'm blind, waiting and asking, scared to go on, scared to go back, racing the wind at night. Faith is wordless, rain on rivers, tasting serenity. Love, feeling you wasted like light that pools among the trees, and I can't hold on or figure, so let be.
Let this be and see. Facing the light, I'm blind. Waiting, asking, scared to go on, scared to go back. Racing the wind at night. Faith is wordless, rain on rivers, tasting serenity, rebraving the lonely nights. I am with you by the meadows in the water, facing the only light. Faith is wordless, rain on rivers, tasting serenity.
Thank you.
That was beautiful, Nick. That's all we got, folks. Thanks for coming down. What do we got? What do we got going on next? Anything? A party? Okay, dancing? Any dancing going on? Talk to me, guys. Jim, anything to say? Hi. All right. Hey, see you. Say again. Thank you. Thank you. So that's our celebration night. Thanks for coming. Hang around and chat and have water or whatever we got. Dance.